Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I was going to say this morning. It's not this morning anymore. My day is getting away from me. Thanks for joining us this afternoon for the next episode in our expert series. My name is Christy. I'm the VP of Operations with the Brampton Board of Trade, and I've been here just over 4 years now, and our role here at the Brampton Board of Trade is to help businesses. We do that by helping individual businesses grow, connect, solve problems, and come together, and we do that by helping our Brampton community get better and helping Brampton take its place on the global stage. So we have been working hard, like all of you have, during the pandemic to provide information to our members, to bring experts through our expert series, to provide some really great networks of people coming together, and to provide information to all businesses across Brampton. So I'm going to encourage you to check out a couple of different pages on our website. So the first one you need to remember is bramptonbot.com. That's our homepage. If you do bramptonbot.com/, you'll see that we have all kinds of information there on funding programs, on resources. bramptonbot.com/reopening resources will give you links to different workshops and seminars, resources, businesses who have access to PPE or sanitizing services, that sort of thing. So all kinds of resources to help all of our businesses get back on track and move through the pandemic. I don't think we're using the term post-pandemic just yet, but we are going to get there. And we're going to get there together with the help of all of our businesses. So we are excited today to welcome Aaron, and I wrote it down phonetically, Lalvani. Did I get that right, Aaron?
Yes.
3 syllables. Okay, perfect. And from Vision Transportation. Now, I've had the chance to visit your location, which is just on the south side of the 407 at Bramalea.
That's correct.
I can picture it. And one thing I will say about your warehouse, it is the cleanest warehouse I've ever seen in my life. It is beautiful. And so obviously your team takes a great deal of pride in what they do. And we're talking with Aaron today about differentiating your business. You know, we've all gone digital. Everyone has pivoted their business. Everyone has done things, you know, a little bit differently during the pandemic. And we have the opportunity today to hear from Aaron a little bit about how Vision Transportation has done that and how they are standing out in the marketplace. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Aaron, and then we're going to get right into our Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the chat or into the Q&A, and we'll get to those right at the end. So Aaron, although over the past 25 years, that's a long time. Are you sure? 25 years?
I know. I don't look.
In the logistics space, Aaron has held roles as a logistics analyst, sales rep for a courier company, led a supply chain consulting practice where he developed methods to solve complex problems using quantitative techniques and models, worked for a global technology company where he provided leadership on product development, built the sales and channel partner arms of the organization, piloted prototypes, and commercialized the IoT asset tracking solutions to North American fleets. Today, Aaron is the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development at a Canadian-based 3PL with fleet and warehousing assets, as well as a freight brokerage business unit that manages both road and rail solutions across North America for their 450 customers. He also sits on the professional advisory committees at Humber College and Wilfrid Laurier University, where he provides insights and direction into academic curriculums to build more competitive and industry-ready graduates. We'll have to talk about that Laurier connection because I'm a Golden Hawk alumni myself. He's a father to a 20-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter, and has a wife of 26 years. So Aaron's told me he has 2 sayings. One is that I won't be my competitor's best salesperson. And 2, if we don't solve our customers' problems, our competitors will. I think I might find myself adopting some of those because I think those are really good. So thank you, Aaron, and welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for the invitation.
So my first question, of course, you know, tell us a little bit about Vision Transportation, other than you have the cleanest warehouse that I've ever seen. But tell us a little bit about Vision Transportation, what you do, how you're solving your customer problems.
So Vision Transportation is a privately held organization that has been around now. It's our 25th year this year. What a year to hit 25. But to show the resilience of the organization, the culture, the attitude, and the focus on developing solutions and markets for our customers have really been the core values that Tony DeToma and Jason Georgie, who own the organization, kind of set in motion. So what I can say is Vision is, you know, I'll use I guess a phrase, out of the box thinking, but our complete DNA is to do things counterintuitive and be able to be flexible enough for our customers to, I'll call it plug and play solutions to get their freight delivered in different formats across North America. So I think that would be the claim to fame. And certainly we have never shied away from making investments in order to satisfy customers. And kind of that is how we got into the warehousing business. So, I think we're just really happy that we're able to develop solutions for our customers, and we just try to be creative as we can and not shy away from their challenges.
Yeah, I appreciate that creativity. Those who know me well know that the term or the phrase, but that's how we've always done it, is like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's yeah, there's always room for creativity and finding solutions for different businesses, different customers, and being creative and finding a solution that works. So I appreciate that. So one thing I've been told about Vision is that you have intermodal solutions that are unparalleled in the industry. Give us an example of how you're doing that differently.
Yeah. So, moving product across Canada, especially to Western Canada, is a challenge. And, people, particularly in the retail space, are looking for cost-effective solutions to meet their arrival dates to their customers. So Vision 6 years ago developed a rail program that was not a traditional intermodal service, and it had to be somewhat differentiated. So everything we do here is about speed. So we created a hybrid solution, which provides the economies of rail, but at the speed of road. So what we're able to do for our customers is create a transportation program that essentially offers them kind of the best of both worlds. And we do unique things around intermodal. So one of our, I think, claim to fame has been providing customers with what I call them, rare transportation cost savings that we are adamant on, that customers should refuse to pay cube rules and all these extra charges that they typically find out there in the marketplace. We have built a model where we just want to simplify everything for our customers. So we like to challenge the status quo. We certainly like to push the envelope on things, and we just want to deliver something creative to our customers that they keep coming back to us for. So our rail program essentially is built on speed. It's a hybrid model, and we just take out a lot of extra charges that traditional organizations in this space charge.
Yeah, and that sounds like that would provide a really good solution to businesses, who don't want to deal with all the extra charges. That you've done a lot of the research and taken care of that. And for that, I appreciate that. So one of the things that is top of mind these days, and we've all experienced over the past 6 months of the pandemic, we talk about supply chain challenges. So availability in products. We all went through, the no toilet paper, the no yeast because everyone's making their own bread. Puzzles were impossible to find for a little while, whether it was hair dye, water guns, kayaks, as people went into the summer, we couldn't find stuff. So where does Vision Transportation fit into that supply chain piece? And what insight do you have in terms of getting products to customers from the warehouse or from the plant?
Yeah, it has really been anybody in the space, any demand planner, any buyer out there will attest that we could never have been prepared for the time that we're in right now. Mm-hmm. But I will say this about the supply chain industry and the professionals that make up this vast group that keeps product on shelves. Their resilience, their brilliance, and the systems that support the work that we all do in this business have really eventually, after the first few weeks, proved that we can model and make decisions and rely on our partners to deliver. And, with the exception of 4 weeks where we were just kind of getting our feet under ourselves and our partners as well, we quickly adapted to the new environment and the madness that was transpiring. And, our customers did as well. So I'm going to say that as a profession in supply chain, I am truly proud to be part of it. And I think we have seen the resilience and capability of this industry group and these professionals to get through significant challenges as COVID. That said, we have seen explosive growth in e-commerce. There's undoubtedly a question that e-commerce is here to stay. Um, However, we've also seen, bricks and mortar play a role in this as well. And so in talking with different retailers and different folks out there in the marketplace, we've seen some really interesting strategies between bricks and mortar and click to buy, um, come together. And so people are using facilities, they're using stores to ship, final mile. And this has transpired very quickly. So models that people were talking about, they're actually executing today. And it's marvelous to see how some of these things work. But we've also seen products that you described not being available on the shelves. But you can broaden that product group to things like bikes, personal watercrafts, boats, and the list goes on. There were things. Who would have thought you can't buy a bicycle for the summertime?
Right.
So this has really challenged organizations, particularly in the manufacturing retail space, on how do they source, how do they develop quick response manufacturing to fill demand. So this is going to be something we're going to see being worked on as we move forward. But again, I can say that from what I've seen, the TAC teams that have been, quite rapidly formed around solving this came together and they're working on it. So, certainly COVID has surprised us all. It's stretched the limits of everything. I call it the ripple effect. I don't know what the long-term ripple effect will be in many cases, but I think as we continue to monitor and adapt, these things will be mitigated. And I'll give some examples, but the good news is that I think what we've seen is clear minds come to the table and organizations come to the table to ensure that trucks can cross the border, to ensure that excess capacity, meaning excess product in the marketplace, found places like in warehouses like ours. For example, a large global retailer came to us through one of their providers seeking quite a significant amount of space to warehouse product that just didn't sell through the spring season. So part of that ripple effect will be, what's going to happen in the 2021 fashion season. There's a lot of product around the world sitting in warehouses not flowing through. So these will be challenges and costs and things that people will work on. And certainly we'll be working with our clients through that. But, we've also seen the emergence of platforms, TMS platforms for courier and parcel shipment really come to the table and offer those solutions. So we're still in the midst of figuring a lot of this out, but all the key components and parts are there. And I think as an industry sector, we're working with customers to make sure that product moves, whether it be business to consumer, business to business, or even retail to consumer, R to C. What I would say finally is that we really have a desperate economic shift that's transpiring. And but I think we have the capability both at the academic level and in the professional business level to work and solve these. And so one thing I can say about what our organization is really adamant on and working hard on is to just keep an open mind and use all the tools and capabilities and assets we have to ensure that we bring some new solutions to customers. And I would say this, that we've seen people being more open to conversations around, new ideas. And so that has really been encouraging to us.
That's interesting. I think that, you're right that none of us could possibly have prepared for what's transpired over the past 6 months. And I think, what that means is that the marketplace is ready for businesses like yours who are showing creativity and that problem solving. And, when you said that, the fashion season in 2021, I'm thinking of companies who, maybe they produced suits or, dress clothes, business wear. Well, we all wore pajamas for 6 months. So, just like the impact of that into 2021 and what that means for, the warehouse industry and transportation, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward?
Well,
Because it's not going to be done.
you know, Chrissy, on Saturday, I had to go and, you know, I went to a shoe repair shop. I went to a cobbler. And, you know, I've been going to that guy for many years, and he sharpens skates and he does a lot of different things. And so, you know, it was nice just to catch up with this gentleman. And I said, "How is business going?" And he said, "Well, of course, you know, it's not as good as it could be. And certainly it's worse than he thought it would be. But he's still, you know, staying in there in the game."
Mhm.
But he said this to me, which I found was actually fascinating. He said, "Look, nobody's going to work, so they're not buying shoes, they're not repairing shoes. There are no weddings, so people aren't getting their shoes polished or, you know, prepared for those special events. There's no ice hockey, so people aren't taking their skates to get sharpened." And so, you know, I thought that that was actually an interesting comment. Like, again, to the ripple effect, we just don't know the long-term impact or short-term impact of, you know, the government policies today. But what I would say, where the silver lining is that we have organizations like people on the live feed today, and probably watching the recording afterwards, that are staying in the game, you know, and really working through the challenges that we all have. And I think today, you know, in the logistics space, we've talked about collaboration for many years. And I think I've had a struggle with what that word means. And I think for myself, I know what it means in this logistics space. But I think today we're seeing a true definition of collaboration. We're working closer with partners. Some of our customers are actually our competitors. And, you know, that we created our rail program in order to support those customer types as well. And I think we're just pushing the envelope on new conversations with people and organizations, because even non-traditional conversations. And I think, you know, that might be the silver lining, that is how we're going to get through this, is really to work together in ways we've never kind of collaborated before with customers and with vendors.
Yeah, interesting. I could talk about this all day. But I have a couple more questions for you. So LTL shipments. A lot of our Brampton businesses have LTL shipments, and that is less than truckload. Am I correct?
Correct.
Less than truckload shipments. So tell me about the carrier space for cross-border freight and how Vision creates a game-changing solution for your customers. What are you doing about that?
So we try to simplify things again. We try to keep things in a manner where customers get one rate for their shipment, and that's it. We understand manufacturers, particularly in Canada, of course, if you're selling Canadian dollars, you want to take advantage of the exchange. So, you know, we price our outbound products unless a customer requests it, but in Canadian dollars. We don't work off of class structures. We don't work off of, you know, long go online and put in, you know, 100 pieces of information. You know, a client can send us an email with the details of what they need, and within 7 minutes or 10 minutes we'll respond with a rate. The way we execute orders is a little bit different as well. You know, there are common carriers in the marketplace, and by the way, I'm not disparaging anybody. I really want to make that clear. There's a lot of options, and in fact we use some of those options, and they're all good. It's just, how do we think differently and do it better? So for ourselves, we've taken the approach to, you know, build consolidations. We have a lot of freight that moves both north and southbound across the U.S. We work with primarily Canadian-based trucking companies, and a lot of them are here in Brampton and Mississauga. And you know, we try to make sure that our trucking partners, for us, they're key. Without them, we don't have a business. Mm-hmm. So our dispatch team, you know, takes our customer business and we amalgamate freight, we consolidate freight, and, you know, we build pedal runs, and we try to reduce the amount of time on cross docks that our customers, their freight sits on. So, you know, again, we've just taken the transportation space and we've just looked at how to do it a little bit differently. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's our customer, and that's understandable. But where it fits, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, we can deliver product into the U.S. Off the same trailer that, you know, picks up freight. And we're doing that, you know, right now, today as I speak, for a couple of our clients that have very specialized freight. And, So our team works hard with that. And I think our partners, more importantly, benefit from that because we can turn them around. We can create less empty miles for them. We can reduce their greenhouse gas emissions or fuel consumption and also maintain driver logs to ELD standard more efficiently. So, we take all these things into account. It's not just a matter of moving our customer freight to market. There's a lot of things we have to think about when we're trying to get those customers product to market, as I've described. So a lot of moving parts, but I think every day we're just working hard to find solutions, and hopefully, our customers keep coming back. So, I think we're doing a good job.
And it sounds, if I were to sort of sum all that up, I'd say, through simplicity of, the system and building efficiency, you're saving your customers money. And isn't that what we all want?
I think so. And we make some money too. Look, and to be honest with you,
hey,
we tell our clients, hey, listen, we have to make money. If not, we can't support our service. And I think, just on a final note on that, I think, for all the transport companies out there that might be watching today and off the recording, look, this is not a game. It's kind of like racing horses. It's an exceptionally capital-intensive business. There's a lot of costs, and any mistakes are we're running on pennies a mile. Right. And we understand that. We have a fleet as well. So, I think to be good stewards of this, both whether you're on the shipper side or the carrier side or in the middle as a broker, again, we all have to work together and be smart. And again, not every solution fits every customer profile or need. So that's why there's so many trucking organizations and brokerages and 3PLs out there, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. So you mentioned, south of the border, and a lot of businesses are watching, obviously, what's happening there. It's a little bit uncertain, a little uncomfortable. And obviously what happens in the States has a huge impact on our economy. What do you do to help facilitate cross-border transportation or even cross-Canada transportation out to Western Canada? Because I know there's some challenges there as well.
Yeah. So, Christy, the best way I can describe it is really just give two examples, customer examples. So there's a large Canadian flooring distributor who came to us with a challenge. And the challenge really was, how do we get their freight picked up from vendors in the US and brought into Canada to an East Coast and West Coast facility more efficiently? And of course, they were looking for savings. So again, we used our network, we used our partners, and we used our cross-dock facilities to build a very simple pallet price-based consolidation pickup with our rail system going to Western Canada, and those coupled together, and this is what they've told us, have saved them over 20%. We forecasted 15, and they came back and told us 20. So, it's been now 3 months, and the teams are working well, and we continue to progress and find new things in their system that can improve their service and their prices. The other case really is a long-standing client of ours who ships aftermarket auto parts across the United States, Hawaii, Alaska. And, they keep coming to us with different programs and solutions that they require. But, we move thousands and thousands of shipments for them every month. And, we've just, again, used our network, our consolidation and pedal run methodology to, deliver to appointment-based solutions, for them. And, they keep coming back to us and just asking us for more ideas on how we see they can do things differently. So, again, we just have a unique relationship, probably not unlike other people on this call today, but we really try to sit down with our customers. And like I said, you quoted me, if we're not finding solutions for our customers, our competitors are. And I'm not in the business of being the best salesperson for my competitors. So, we are adamant. We have a DNA here about going to customers right away with opportunities. We don't wait for the end of the year, or wait for an RFP. We just get to it and show them how to do it better right away.
And that leads beautifully into my next question, which is specifically about RFPs. And my experience with, the RFP process, it's not my favorite process. RFPs are long and really time consuming to put together, to read, to evaluate. They're important for sure. But tell me your opinion on them, first of all, and how manufacturers can improve their transportation costs to maintain their effectiveness, their competitiveness.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm going to go on record and say that they're absolutely valid. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It needs to meet corporate governances in many cases. In other cases, it just needs to be a validation point. So I don't really have a problem with RFPs. What I do challenge is, the standard. I've been doing RFPs for many, many years, and for the most part, they're static, they're inflexible, and that's where I have the issue with RFPs. I think that over the 65 I've done over my career, big and small multinationals to mom and pops, where people seem to miss are allowing vendors to come up with a new solution. So I think, there needs to be flexibility in RFPs. And one of the things we pride ourselves on, and how we've won a number of pieces of business over the last 4 months, have been to challenge the RFP process and say, look, we have a different approach here, and we think it could work. And so we model it and cost it out for the client. And it's really been well for us. So I think if people are running RFPs, for sure, I get it. You have to do it, no problem. But, don't wait for the end of the year to run an RFP. I mean, bring vendors in quarterly, sit down and find out what's going on, what the approaches are, what some of the new methods are. And, if something hits your ROI calculator, and, you need to pursue those conversations with those organizations and those, people. And if it makes sense, implement them before the end of the year or the next RFP season. So it needs to be fluid. And I think that's really my message to everybody today, is that, RFPs are static, but our businesses are fluid, and they've never been more fluid than today. And I think you need to constantly, meet new people and have new conversations, and then determine if any of them have met your criteria to move forward. And don't be shy, to implement really good solutions sooner than later.
Yeah, and I just as you're speaking there, I'm thinking, a solution that we came up with 7 months ago is not the solution that's going to work today, because so much has changed in these last 6 months. So I think that, by saying, find a solution for what works right now, I think that makes a lot of sense. And if I were to sort of, from everything I'm hearing from you, you're able to differentiate Vision Transportation through collaboration and through creativity. And that comes through, and maybe I'll add customer service in there, because 3 always sounds better. But, it's that creativity to find solutions for, both, vendors and customers. And it's that collaboration where you need to build it, whether it's through rail, whether it's through other transportation providers, and then that customer service by being able to respond to the needs of your customers today. Again, not where we were 6, 8, 12 months ago, but where businesses are today, and finding those solutions, because we're going to continue to encounter different challenges over the next little while as we all figure out how to come through this time period, and what the new normal looks like in an e-commerce market, how people are still getting those products, and looking to companies like yours to help. So we are just about at time for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to send out? I do want you to share your website with us, please, and anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers today.
Yeah, thank you just for inviting me to have this conversation. I think it's important. We're proud to be here since 2017 in Brampton. It's a great environment for logistics and manufacturing distribution. I think that today I would just really express the openness that, if anybody wants to connect with me, certainly you can. Transportation, I'm here in Brampton. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm sure Christy will, be able to put up all the other information. But it's really to have these conversations and to keep them moving. And we can't lose heart. I think we just need to see the silver lining in all of this, and just keep moving forward in a creative, positive manner. And I think Christy, being a member of the Brampton Board of Trade and sitting on some of the committees there, certainly allows for those connection points and perspectives that I otherwise wouldn't have. And so I'd encourage anybody who's not a member of the Brampton Board of Trade, there's tons of opportunity to get involved. And, Christy and Todd just do a great job. So let's keep the dialogue going. Let's see how we can help each other and collaborate in any way we can, and move our businesses forward and satisfy customers every day.
Well, thank you. And you just led beautifully into my summary, which was to talk about what happens next. So we have, with the Brampton Board of Trade, we have networks for connections, just like you spoke about there. So we looked at our membership during the pandemic, and we thought, what do our members need? Connection with more people. So we've actually established 9 specific networks based on trade, goods movement. We're looking at, we have our business women's networking group. We're looking at talent, business development, and those are all taking place approximately 4 times a year. So we have meetings happening pretty much weekly, which is great. So tomorrow morning, we have our goods movement network. Next week, we have both talent and our trade network meetings. So for anyone who's interested in any of those areas, don't hesitate to get in touch with me or check out our website at bramptonbot.com to learn more about those networks. It is a wonderful opportunity to build your network, not necessarily to find your next customer immediately, but to build those collaborations, as Erin was talking about, which is great. And then eventually, obviously, to lead to your next customer. Other dates that I want people to keep on their calendars: every Wednesday morning and every Friday morning, we get together for some networking. And anyone is welcome to come chat, bring your business challenges, and talk about your business and learn more about what the Brampton Board of Trade is doing in advocating for your business, in providing resources and connection opportunities. I would be remiss if I did not bring up October 20th. That is our Business Excellence Awards. And I believe, Erin, you attended last year in person. We are getting together virtually on October 20th, so everyone can still get dressed up, but if anyone want to come in your best fuzzy bunny slippers, that's totally acceptable as well. We are going to involve some of our local fantastic restaurants to have meals provided as a part of the ticket price, and we are celebrating business excellence. We're celebrating our Business Person of the Year, William Johnston from Bramgate Automotive, as well as, oh, I should know this one. It's 13 awards altogether. So I believe it's 11 business awards, our Business Person of the Year, as well as our Chairs Award. So that's going to be a really fun evening. One more date I do want everyone to mark in their calendars, and that is October 7th. Obviously, we are in the middle of a health crisis right now. William Osler Health System has a relatively new president, and that is Dr. Naveed Mohammed, and we are excited to welcome him to our virtual podium on October 7th. So he's going to talk a little bit about his journey, his experience, and his vision for healthcare in the Brampton market. So we've got a lot going on, so make sure you're checking out bramptonbot.com for all of our upcoming events. And Erin, I just want to thank you again for coming today to share with us. And there's a lot of transportation terms in there, but I'm learning, which is good.
You're doing a great job. You're fine. Thank you for the invitation again.
And the only thing that we forgot to do was share Vision Transportation's website.
Yeah, so it's www.visiontrans.com.
Perfect. Visiontrans.com. Wonderful. And there you go. Justina has shared it in the chat for us. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Erin, and we will chat soon.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Have a great day.